Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to make this cute little whale charm. It is on one loom, so you won't need two looms for this one. And it's really cute. I like how I invented this one. And the eye is just a wrapped band, but you can also use a 9mm pony bead, so just like the regular pony beads you would get at a craft store. And he has a cute little spout. I think that defines him really as a whale instead of like something else. So that's what we'll make in today's video. Okay, so to get started, you'll want to have your loom in the staggered position, so all of your pins are staggered. And choose a color. I'm going to make my whale orange because I'm out of blue. And it's all double banded except for a few spots where we have more than two bands. So you'll want to have a lot of bands. So to start, you'll want to put a band from here to here. Actually, it's two bands, sorry. And then two more bands from here to here. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3 spaces down on each side of the loom with two bands. So 2 bands. Whoops, that was 3. 2 more bands. And 2 more bands. So that was 3 spaces down this side of the loom, and now we're going to do that on the other side. Like that. And all of that was double banded. So you went out and then 3 spaces down. And now you're going to go 4 spaces down the middle, also with 2 bands. So that was 1, 2, 3. And actually, on this second set of bands right here, you want to put your whale's eye. So that could be a pony bead or a wrapped band. So I'm going to take a wrapped band, and you'll just put your hook through it and wrap it around once, twice, and 3 times. So that gives your whale a nice solid eye, but not too tight. And then you'll slide your 2 bands through that wrapped band. And then you'll put it where we had that set of bands before on those 2 pegs. And you can just straighten it out like that. And then we'll keep laying bands down the middle. So remember, we're doing 4 spaces. So that's 3 and 4. So now and that was all 2 bands, including the eye band. And now we're going to go into the center again. So we'll go from here to here with 2 bands, like that. And then take 2 more bands and go from here to here. Okay, so that's our whale's basic body layout. That's all of this. And now for the tail, you're going to take 4 bands. 4 bands. And you'll want to push the bands on this peg down, because we'll be laying these 4 bands from here to here. And it's all 4 on those 2 pegs. And then push it down, because that's a lot of bands. And then you're going to take 3 bands and go from here to here and here to here, and that's your whale's tail. So 3 bands, and go out, and then 3 more bands, and go out the other way, like that. So that's the layout for your whale's body, but now we need to put capping bands on. So on each end of the tail, right here, we're going to put capping bands around these 2 pegs wrapped 4 times. So you'll want to stretch these out a little bit, and then wrap them around 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. And you're going to do that on each of these 2 pegs. So that's 1, 2, This one can be kind of hard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so once you've got 4-time cap bands on these 2 pegs, we're going to lay triangle bands on your whale's body. So take 1 band and stretch it around here. That's what you're going to do in a minute. But before we do that, we need to make our whale's spout, or whatever you want to call this, the water that they shoot out of their head. So what you want to do for that is take 2 blue bands for the water, and you're going to make a knot in these. So put them over each other and then grab each end through the other band. Like that. And then pull that tight and unravel it, and then put one of these bands on this peg right there, right above the eye. And then you're going to repeat that with 2 more bands. Grab each end through the other band, pull it tight, and put it on that peg. So now that we've put our spout bands on that peg, we can put our cap band over. And it's a triangular cap band, and it's not doubled over or anything. Then we're going to put another one of those around those 3 pegs. And then we're going to do that one more time, except this time we're going to stretch it way out and double it over. Like that. So we have 2 regular cap bands, and then 1 doubled over one. And then we have 2 4-time around cap bands on the whale's tail, and we have our spout bands. So now we're ready to start looping this, and you'll want to loop with a metal hook if you have one. If not, then you'll just have to be really careful with your plastic one. So what we're going to do is reach inside these 4-time cap bands and bring up those 3 bands. This is very tight. And loop them onto this center peg right here. And then push those down and do the same thing for this other side. Like that. And now the hardest part is getting these 4 bands to this peg. So you're going to reach inside all of the bands you just looped and grab all of these if you have a metal hook. If you have a plastic hook, you should probably do it 2 at a time. And loop those on this peg. And then you'll reach inside those and grab the top 2 bands. Whoops, that's the top 3. Just the top 2. And loop it over to the left. Then grab the next 2. Loop them to the right. And then you'll loop all of this row forward. So reach inside, loop it forward. Then just loop the eye band forward normally. And then reach inside and loop it forward. So we've done our whole middle row. Now we're going to go up the left. So reach inside those bands you looped earlier and inside this cap band. Make sure you're getting inside the cap bands. Reach inside, pull up those 2 bands and loop them forward. And do that all the way up. And then when you get to this peg, you'll want to reach inside the cap band and the spout bands to get to those 2 bottom bands. And then loop this into the center. Whoops. Then we'll loop up the right side. And we don't have any spouts to go through this time. and then loop it in. So that's the finished looping pattern. And now you'll want to reach inside this last peg with your hook, take a band, and pull it through all of those bands on that peg. Make sure you don't catch any of them in your hook. And then put both ends on your hook, and you can pull your whale off the loom carefully. It can be kind of tight. When you get down to the tail, you can use your hook to help if you need to. And pull off those cap bands and put your loom away. And now that you have your whale off the loom, you can take these bands and slip knot them just by pulling the bottom one over the top. And then straighten out your spout bands, straighten out your eye, and pull a little bit on your tail. These cap bands get tangled up sometimes. And then for this tail over here, just go onto the back of your whale and put your hook through a few loops and pull it through. And it should stay there. And if it doesn't, you can pull it through more loops on the back. And then to twist up your spout, if you want it twisted a little bit, just put your finger on the spout and then twist it up. Might take a few tries to get it how you want. But that's how you can twist it. Make it cute and loopy like that. And then if your eye is having trouble staying together, then you can just keep pushing it until it stays. You can add glue if you need to. And there's your cute little whale charm.